with that in mind, let's start delving into the depths, shall we? At least dip our toes and say hello. See if any of our friends down here are interested in a good time, shall we? You better show your face, you dang old lich. Fantastic. That's going to be nice, actually. Recite, I think it's very strong for certain sections of the game. Of course, something like Crypt is very straightforwardly like an optimal place to start spitting hot fire, but on top of that, we can do pretty well for ourselves in Zot, I guess, especially Zot 5. Hopefully we can just take care of a lot of those liches right off the bat. But okie dokie. I'm glad I was kind of mid-sentence because it cut my ability to be as excited, or to at least express my excitement at this requirement scroll, which immediately would have faded into disappointment, as is oftentimes the case with these sons of guns. Because, yeah, manual of unarmed combat, I don't think that's ever going to be a factor, and the other two are just terrible. So, money it is, cold hard cash. The best gift acquirement can possibly give this holiday season. And not too shabby. It's just a nice gift card to, like, Ample's Assorted Antiques or something like that. Exactly, yeah, reading the acquirement troll. I do like that. That sits up there with the other affectionate name from the community, which is the Scroll of Disappointment, of course. But regardless, let's just make the best of it here, and maybe, just maybe, that money is going to be what puts us over the edge for towards honor and victory here. You know, one can dream at the very least. Holy cow, big ball Hell's Store? Val, I guess, if we're taking D&D pronunciation into effect. Okay, my brain is overloaded. I'm not like, I was looking down this list and just nothing was actually being stored because there's a lot going on here. But let's break this down a little bit, shall we? 10 scrolls of an enchant armor, that's a really cool thing to have in the shop. This is a cool store in general, actually. I'm just quite stoked all around. So we got these fire dragon scales, which are not very good, but I immediately am drawn to the regen on them. I do believe we got regen on our hat. Yeah, hat and necklace are both giving regen. As soon as you start to really stack up the regen ego in as many places as possible, you can definitely get some funky things going on. But otherwise, unfortunately, while these all look pretty awesome, it's not actually a lot going on for us. Most of the armor enchantments are just a little too low. The majority of enchantments otherwise are resist poison, which is strictly unnecessary for us. I mean, I'll mark the enchant armor and the heal wounds, because those are both potential contenders for a return, especially if future scrolls of acquirement decide to result in a similar outcome to the one we just read. Then maybe, just maybe, we'll have a spot to burn all that cash. Yeah, for sure, if we were Gozeg and had the pockets to afford it all. In fact, I'm curious, can you get those special, unique shops from Gozeg's Phone a Merchant ability? I'm not actually sure what the answer is there. It's been a while since I did like a Mega Ziggurat character that was creating a bit of a mall for themselves. Someday I'll have to do so again. I do enjoy the... I don't know, it's almost like a meditative trance that you go into when... Oh, holy cow, I just turned someone to salt. Well... Gamora, eat your heart out? I don't know my Bible knowledge whatsoever, but, who's Salt? I should know at least a name. not ready to recite again, of course, my bad, apologies. There's no appreciative audience, I beg to differ. I'm pretty sure this thing was biting me, so vampires I think would very well be a good option for us. Interesting that Zin doesn't let you recite just at the drop of a hat here. I mean, what if I just want to read a little bit, show my appreciation, show my faith, Zin? I'm sure you can understand that, my friend. But nonetheless, I guess it's not the end of the world. Let's just keep on keeping on, as it were. Son of a gun. Well, yet another shaft trap, throwing a little bit of a wrench into our plans here. Holy moly, what just hit that hard? Deep Control clawed us and dealt no damage. I mean, maybe... I was going to say maybe there are other attacks, but no, we blocked everything from the troll. It was unfortunately just a wash. This fire son of a gun that is the problem child in the family, so let's take care of you first, my friend. And that is wonderful. Okie dokie. I guess I marked the 10 scrolls of enchant armor, but having 8 in our inventory, not looking too bad. As soon as we do find gold dragon scales, I'll probably just start yossing those bad boys on immediately, of course. That is generally the like pie in the sky for these types of characters, so I don't see at this moment why that would not be the case. Okay, do I have nowhere better to fight all these children? Well, when in doubt, I can create a better world to live in here. Beautiful. And come one, come all. Say hello to our lovely little kill corridor. Fantastic stuff. I mean, we don't have a lot of digging charges, so I don't really want to be throwing that out, you know, too willy-nilly. A little bit willy-nilly, probably fine. But have a bit of a upwards cap on it. You know, our shield score is looking pretty good. Technically, we're still seeing this and is slowed by your shield message on our attack delay, but we are down to 0.7. So feeling pretty fine on that side of things. So what else can we do here? I mean, more invo, I guess. In fact, maybe this is the stage in the game that we just do this. Train these 3 for the rest of time. Maybe. I'm going to put some caps on fighting and on throwing. But invo, I want to reach the stars and back if at all possible. Just because that is something that would potentially be nice to have maxed out by the end of the run here. I do believe that Zin is a god that benefits pretty greatly from doing so. I mean, our prison gets longer, which hit or miss, but I'm trying to think for these other ones. Sanctuary feels like something that might be pretty static. Recite, though, I think gets stronger the more invocation. Yeah, the effectiveness of the recitation is increased by invocation skill and piety as well. Not too shabby. Vitalization, protection from poison, confusion, petrification, sickness, and foul pestilence. Interesting. So again, much like we were discussing earlier with that Ellie skill that could have saved the day in a previous run, this feels like another god ability that is a little bit too, I don't know, intelligent for me to use properly. Sodom? Was Sodom the salt stuff? Driving myself nuts, even though it doesn't really matter in the slightest for our game here today, and I doubt that I'll do anything to increase my biblical knowledge, because it does not affect me at all in my day-to-day. Drop your skin, please. If you want to do one good thing with your time on this sweet, good earth, please just give me your skin. I would greatly appreciate it. Son of a gun. Yeah, it was Lot's wife. Okay, Lot was the name I was actually trying to remember earlier when I said Gomorrah. All that came to mind was Job, and I knew Job was wrong. Also, one of my favorite characters from Arrested Development. Man, that guy's really everywhere. Gets a cameo in the Bible and Arrested Development. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's the big two. That's essentially every aspiring thespian's dream appearances, you know? Well. I don't really like fighting a bunch of your berserk creatures. Okay, I was about to say, if the berserker themselves could just show their face. You're regenerating. Didn't know we had a doctor in our midst here. Holy moly. Okay, let's try to get like some nice bounces going on here. How are you regenerating that much? I know that you have Trog's Hand. And I guess not that much health in the first place, so that could be playing a factor overall. But okay, let me take a peek here. Because we're looking at 49 damage from you, my friend. 32 from you. I mean, these are big numbers. I don't think anyone can dispute that. Fortunately, seeing invisible doesn't work against our Spriggan pals here either. Hum-de-dub, hey. I mean, could teleport. If things start to go really terribly, that's when we drop down a sanctuary, of course. So that should be a start. Beautiful. Then let's just hang next to this teleport trap, and again, if things start to go awry, we have a one-step solution to all our problems in life. Hello, friends, compatriots, countrymen. Okay, let's just instantly murder the berserker this time. Beautiful stuff. Love to see it. And again, I don't know what they were on that first encounter. I feel like they were Trog's chosen warrior, and they were just regenerating their entire health bar every turn. And I don't know enough about coding to dispute it. Or about this game's coding, I should say. Because I would hope that I know at least a little bit about coding, but unfortunately, sometimes stupidity will win the day when it comes to my ability to know anything, really, if we're being honest. But okay, we get the Amulet of the Four Winds here. I mean, this is basically shoring up our one big weakness at the moment, which is willpower. It's tough to say goodbye to Regen Amulet, but at least we have Regen on our hat, so it's not really goodbye. It's more of a... I was going to say see you later, because that's the platitude, but it's more of a we got Regen at home, unfortunately. Fortunately, unfortunately. Depends on your perspective, I guess. Depends on if you yourself watching right now are an Amulet of Regeneration, in which case I apologize to you and your people. But I think we're going to toss this bad boy on. Clarity, pretty fantastic in its own right. And yeah, that willpower does the trick. And in fact, that means we can swap out our ring here for something else. Resist corrosion, I guess, is what we're missing right now, but that's probably something we can hot swap to in the heat of the moment. Okie dokie. Well, that very quickly put us in some fine spirits here. Very, very happy to have access to the willpower that we've been previously lacking over the entirety of this run. Just wonderful stuff. And if all of you very, very scary, terrifying monsters could just step up one at a time, form a nice orderly queue. I didn't know Crystal Tomes were British. Have an unhealthy, maybe just, let's just label it as unobsession with queuing. Because at the end of the day, I don't know how unhealthy it is to be organized, except in very much so in this case, where there's a direct correlation between your prevalence of queuing and death by my hand. So, you know, probably a bit of an unhealthy relationship with orderly lines in that context. Ooh, 6 silver javelins. Don't mind if I do. I think the Scarf of Repulsion can probably... I was going to say it can probably hit the deck, but I'm not gaining a lot from this +0 cloak, so... maybe Scarves are going to be in this season, and we can get a bit of a head start on the fashion trends here in the lovely dungeon this evening, as is always quite important to us. Playing intelligently and having even the barest amount of foresight, planning, intelligent thought, all of that, you know, it's fine, I guess, but nothing compares to looking real snazzy as we make our way onwards and upwards here. Trog, you need to chill, man. I know you probably have a bit of a chip on your shoulder against Zin here, you know, competing pantheons and all of that good stuff, but nonetheless, a bit of chill I think would do you well, would do wonders for your longevity even. Because that's what the gods don't think about. Sure, short-term solution, get all the followers you can, amass that power, and lord it over the rest of your deity brethren, but more importantly than that, why don't we plan for the future, stress-free retirement? Because this god thing, you know, it's just not sustainable. In this day and age, in this economy, no shot. But okay, Guardian Serpents, please get insta-deleted. And then, sir, our pleas have fallen on deaf ears. But I implore you, do not fall for the same unpleasantries of your previous species members. Do not laugh in the face of our request. In fact, if you could be so kind as to acquiesce to our desperate cries here and give me your skin. Hell yeah, brother. You just gotta butter them up just right. Which, weirdly enough, also is how I cook my gold dragon. Very important in both contexts. But okie dokie, let us murder you two real quick like. Drop an exclusion on the store temporarily just so Auto Explorer gets all the lovely cash money here. And then, yeah, we're in plate armor of cold resistance. Say nay to the plate mail. The slightly less successful, but nonetheless still as entertaining sequel show to say yes to the dress. And I think this will be what we wear for the rest of our lives here. Essentially, we will become a cartoon character and never change outfits. So let's just throw all the enchantments we possibly can on this son of a gun. And you know, I made reference earlier, I briefly spoke about maybe we don't want those 10 enchant armor scrolls that we left in the shop. But it's funny how quickly we burn through those bad boys, because now I'm looking at this and I kind of want those 10 scrolls. With that, we can max out the golden armor, but on top of that, if I can get a branded tower shield, then things will start falling into place. And much like Goldilocks once said, it'll be just right, baby. But hey, we shall see how the rest of the run here progresses, shall we? Hello, my friends. I love seeing all these random little things. I mean, as we learned earlier, the cages were for Maxwell's etheric cage, but those ones I still haven't quite figured out. They seem to be a little bit more of a sprinkling of, I guess, interesting design more than anything directly targeted at a specific vault or premeditated loadout of enemies here. But okie dokie, depths 3. I mean, things are just going along swimmingly so far here. Can't complain. Fire resistance looking fantastic. across the board here. And in fact, do I have anything else to fill that slot? Because we're using this fire protection ring. Not really necessary by any stretch, but I guess it's something. Oh my gosh. And speaking of Bible references, didn't realize the protection from fire ring was all about Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, my favorite VeggieTales story. Mainly, it's the only VeggieTales story I know. But okie dokie, with that taken care of, let's just keep on keeping on here. And you know what? When in doubt, when a fight starts to go poorly against any humanoid, that's when we whip out the real good stuff here. Put them to sleep with a couple of verses from the good book. Fantastic. And not too shabby, all things considered. Okie dokie. Well, hopefully we don't have too much more excitement left in store for us for the rest of Depths here. This is a very interesting Depths 4 that I don't recognize immediately. And so that gives at least a certain level of pause. Oh right, I don't have corrosion resistance. Let's be careful with these ugly sons of guns. At least reduce down the number that are hitting us at once. You should have stayed corrosive, my friend. You had a good thing going. I was on my back foot, about to run for my very life. But to each their own, and I guess I respect your desire to keep me in one piece. That speaks to me in a big way, for sure. So Danke schön for that. Okie dokie. Well, I guess nothing too terrible has come at us so far here. Again, I don't have a whole lot of faith, trust, and or pixie dust that will remain to be the case. There we go. Enemies start flowing in full force. At least the vast majority of you do not respond well to criticism of the way you decide to live your life. So I'll just start reciting a little bit here, and that does a pretty dang solid job. What all was dropped here? You know, I saw the purple outline around the Spriggan carrying this Lagitang, and I thought to myself, that could be distortion, and just paid it no heed, no mind whatsoever. Ran in, guns blaring, or in this case, I guess, a Morningstar blasting. But hey, sometimes just works out. Hell yeah, brother. And on top of that, I guess the other thing to keep in mind there, as we run for our lives, is that I wouldn't actually mind a trip to the Abyss. This time of year, I hear it's just lovely. And this is a time to start reciting. In fact, probably a little bit overdue, all things considered. I have a problem with underestimating Draconians, and I don't think I've gone much better in that department over all my time playing the game. No matter how many times we get brutally murdered by a surprise pack, I don't think my dumb brain will ever really take those lessons to heart. Of course, that would require actually having some level of measurable intelligence, as well as learning from our mistakes, which, let's not get crazy. Let's not be too silly about it, shall we?